More urban foraging. We're at that big log. I look. Yeah. Let's go down there. Now, those are not all edible, but that outside edge would be edible on them, but not the hard part at the bottom. So even though they look big, there's not that much edible parts on them left. But I wanted to show you, even beside a busy road, there's still foraging available. Okay, I'm going to have a supper mostly from the land today, except for that. I need a little bit of oil, and my choice is sesame oil for my stir fry. Now my friend Jack and Dan, they would say flaxseed oil, and I agree with them. That is a #1 oil, and it is low in saturated fat, high in omega-3s is the one I think we want. Go see them. I'm going to leave a link in the description, and they have a lot of healthy meal ideas, exercise ideas, the whole bit. I want to show something from the land that's totally vegetarian, vegan example of cooking, and we're going to use some wild mushrooms. And this one here is the rest of the chicken in the woods mushroom, and it's getting kind of hard, so I'm going to soak it in some oil, water, and apple cider vinegar from the land. I fermented this ourselves, and it's really good. But we have our oil and vinegar, and it's kind of like a salad dressing flavor I'm starting here, because this mushroom, dryad saddle, tastes like cucumber. And we're going to make kind of a veggie stir fry thing. So I'm going to start with soaking these mushrooms in that oil, water, and vinegar, and we are going to start cooking. I forgot what I need to do is show you that I cleaned these off. Let me get this over a tad. You just take the scales, the spores, the pores off like that, and then you're left with this white surface. You can see right here, it peels right off. So all you have to do even is use your fingernail, and then you end up getting chunks. You can cut them up, right? So it's fibrous mushroom. The tip here is usually dried out, so I cut that off too. It gets a little tough to cut, but right here, just take that really dried spot off, and all of that you can put in the compost. All the spores. I don't worry about skinning them, but I take off anything that might not be. This one, for example, was wet, and I thought, well, I don't really want to trust it. That piece is too much fiber. This one here, it's fibrous too, but nice and clean, and we can use that dried for soup and stew. Just cut it into little pieces like that, and they will dry nice in a paper bag. These lobster mushrooms are a little bit different to clean, so usually I cut that part off here, that dirty where it touched the ground, and then you start taking them apart to find out, see, that's dirty, you don't want any of that brown. discoloring usually means a bug is getting in there. So I'm going to cut this apart. You see all that? That's why you want to soak it in salt water. So you discard all discolored pieces. You see right in here is kind of good, but a little bit dirty. So I'm just going to pop that in the water. That kind of hard to clean, but you can cut it right out, or you can clean it up. It's discoloring in here. See, lobster mushrooms, you get a lot, but you have to discard a lot too. So something like that, you use a paring knife, just cut that away, and you can soak the rest of that. So by the time you end up getting done, see that crevice? The lobster mushroom hides many dirty leaves, all that debris. You don't want to eat all of that. You don't want bugs either. Especially when we're making a vegetarian meal, a vegan meal. We don't want all those bugs in there. So I'm going to clean up these. We're going to make them all look nice like that. Soak them all in the water, salt water, to get any bugs out, any larvae. Now we're frying up those mushrooms that we had in the oil mixture, oil and water and vinegar, and there's a little bit left. So when that runs a little dry, you add a little bit more liquid to it. And we're going to fry that for a couple of minutes. You want to really cook wild mushrooms well. Okay, I'm washing them up. And then I can put them in here with the mushrooms. I was even going to call it meat. Kind of looks like meat now. Well, it kind of looked like meat before. Alright. I got squash here that I'm going to add to the stir fry. Yellow squash and patty pan squash. And we had one growing together here too. It's kind of weird. And add that to our mushroom and bean mixture. Give that a stir. And I'm making some noodles. You see how it's a little bit dry? That's when you want to add your liquid back to the pan. That's a little bit of cooking liquid. Stir. And I'm making my noodles. This is how I like mine. A bit soft with a squash, but still firm. And then the beans, peas, and that a little bit softer. And the mushroom actually holds up very, very well. So we're going to have this on rice noodle. And I turn the heat off. We're waiting for the water to heat up for the noodles. Okay, I'm ready to try this out. Yummy, yummy. Here's some noodles and some mushroom in there. Chicken in the woods. Mmm. Good flavor. Really good flavor. It's a little chewy. It's not bad. More garden veggies. Yummy. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the food in my mouth. It's good. Yum yum.